Good afternoon, world. This is Dr. Jeffrey Lant speaking to you from the capital city of the internet, Cambridge, Massachusetts, where we are snowed in the great nor'easter of this year 2015. With the snow piled deep, with the temperature freezing, seemed like a good time to get together and talk about economics and the role of Worldprofit in helping people worldwide. So today's program in Cambridge, for the intellectual capital, commercial capital of the internet, is about helping people worldwide gain traction as the world economy is shifting. And I don't know how many of you are following the news of the world economy, but I'm going to make it very short and snappy for you. During this program, which I've dedicated to Sanjay and Imran, I'll be addressing two different groups. One, the people here in the studio with from all over the world. And number two, after this program is concluded, Patrice Porter from Saskatchewan, who heads this project, will be posting these remarks on YouTube, and they will circulate around the world. Let us start with the news. First of all, as if we didn't know this, the Greek government has fallen. And you say, what does that have to do with me? I'm going to tell you it has everything to do with you for the following reason. For the first time ever, an anti-austerity party has taken control of one of the EU nations. And thus it has been done. She received an outright majority of the parliament. So even if they wish to enter in a relationship with some of the smaller parties, they don't need to do that. What does this mean to us? It means that Alex, I'm going to pronounce this, Tsipras, just 40 years old, has set on for the new European Union crisis. He is 40. His platform was that the Greeks had suffered enough, that they wanted to get out of all their credits, that they were advanced principally by Germany, and they want to cut back the austerity program, which was based on their borrowing money in the first place. It is an audacious plan, and the first time that any EU nation has been taken over by people who are inimical to budgeting, conservative fiscal policies, and running a government with what you've got, not with what you'd like to believe. Of course, the Greek people, presented with the proposition that they could have everything they wanted without any cutbacks at all, voted for the luxurious ticket that said, don't worry, be happy, it'll all work out somehow. What does this mean to us? First of all, it triggers a new crisis in the economic union. In the European Union, is already under duress. The euro has dropped to its lowest level in 15 years. 15 years of war, accretion wiped out in a few days. More is expected. If the euro crashes because of the Greek government, we will have crises around the United States, and we will trigger another recession. The stakes could hardly be higher. So what can we as common people, ordinary citizens of our various nations, do? We can prepare a backup plan now while we have the time and the resources to do it. What will happen if the Greek government, the new Greek government, comes in and slashes it on an agreement with Germany? We've got to hope that Angela Merkel, who has been a great friend of the United States, probably the leading stateswoman of her time, holds the line so that we have time to construct some fireworks, some firewalls right here. What must we do to be prepared for the economic turbulence to come? Because it is coming, indeed it is already here. The Greeks have led the way. They have led the way in so many things over the last 2,000 years, so they are leading the way here, only this is a very treacherous step that they've taken. If they decline to pay the interest on their debt, all bets are off. The euro could crash, the economic union could fragment even sooner. We may even see a the Greeks drop out of the EU, which would be a precedent of great magnitude and highly deleterious to the economic well-being of all of us. We have talked about Worldprofit's role many times in the world economy, and you say, what can a small Canadian company do to help? Simply this. We helped thousands of people get through the 2008 recession. It was the proudest mark of my administration that we saved the bacon, saved homes, saved scholarships, fed people, gave them money for health insurance, personal insurance, car insurance. We helped the people through a difficult patch, and we aim to do it again now, should that happen. But I'm not saying necessarily will happen, but I'm saying it's a distinct possibility that it is on the horizon. And I want all of you and all the people who come from us from all over the world to be prepared. I want Sanjay to realize that you can't make all the money you need in your own country. We have country after country represented here amongst our members. And the countries are a joke. We live in a period where countries are being dissolved, not created. The great days of nation building are over. We now have to worry about getting through this economic path and save what we can. While we have the energy, the imagination, the determination, the drive, and yes, the money and the gumption to do what's necessary. Now this means, for all of you looking in the window, that you're going to need $100. We are prepared to put our resources to work for you. But if and only if you will invest $100 to get yourself started. And if you tell me you cannot do that, then you are going to be in the position of these Greeks, these poor citizens of great democracy, the home of the cradle of democracy. They're going to wake up one morning and find that no one's going to extend them any credit, that their economy will tank right then and right there. It virtually happened in 2008. It could easily happen now. What do we have to do? Sanjay, you're going to have to get $100 together. I don't care how you do it. But that you have to do it is for your own good. Let's say what you can do and what you can't do. Number one, no one is going to be able to weather this recession or downturn or even economic collapse on your own. You can't do it. Don't even think in terms of that kind. You're going to need support. Worldprofit is what is called an extra-national and extraterritorial organization. We help people worldwide, every day, all day, 24 hours a day. No person in any country in this world who has $100 to join us will be left behind. We'll scoop you up, we'll bring you in, we'll educate you, and we'll take care of your interests. For $100, that's a deal that hasn't been seen since the Dutch bought Manhattan Island for a few beads. Does everybody understand? You can't go it alone. I want every person in this room to write that on the screen. I can't do it alone. Write it down. And then believe it. We have to work together in this. Only by working together can we save the maximum number of people worldwide. And if I sound apocalyptic at this point, I realize the importance of what's happening in Greece, and I aim to make sure that you understand what is happening in Greece as well. I want you to write it. I'm not seeing enough commentary. I want to see some interactivity here. I want to see it. This is not my battle alone. Come on. Is this the response? There you go. You can't do it alone. William Buck is right. I want everybody in, Jeremiah, and Johan, Patrice, and Linda Elsie, and all the rest of you. You can't do it alone. To come through the current economic crisis that is very much advanced, you need to come in here and follow the guidelines that George Koch has laid down. George is an expert in helping people worldwide make money because he is focused on the necessary steps. He knows they work. You all know that they work. And I am not seeing what I need to see on the screen, and this is not just for me. You can't do it alone, and I want to see recognition of that. Write it on the screen. And believe it in your heart, because it's the truth. And make this work. We going to have to tell the people of the world that they have to invest $100. It's little enough to carry them through this deleterious time. Because as governments tell, it's going to happen in Greece very soon, a man was raised to the prime ministership who said, oh, don't worry about the money we owe. Don't worry about economy. Don't worry about economies. Don't worry about frugality. Don't worry about austerity. We'll soldier it through. Sure they will, at the bottom of the heap. I am glad to see Johan, a citizen of Belgium, and a citizen of Europe, and a citizen of the world, understands, and I know that he does, and he follows this carefully. He sees what's happening in Belgium. And let me tell you what this is triggering. The fascist party of Greece, the neo-fascists, achieved a very respectable finish in the elections just the other day. The neo-fascist parties in Italy, Spain, Portugal, Hungary, Bulgaria, Romania. This is beginning to be very serious. If you want to get get away from total dependence on making money in your country, you're going to have a means of doing some world-profit means. How many of you are beginning to realize the importance of world profit to you and sustaining you through difficult economic times? How many of you get that? If you get that, then you will follow. Then you will listen to George Kosh like you will, which he is. You will pay close attention to what he says to do, and you will do it. Because you don't want your family down in these difficult times. You want to raise them up. How do you raise them up? By having multiple sources of income. And we have always been, and are today, and will always be in favor of multiple income sources. Why? So that you do avoid the situation of the people who have bought into a phony economic proposition that they can't sustain, who will leave them poorer than they ever were. I want to help you all avoid that, but you have to help me. You have to do things like do your promotion, grow your list now when you're not absolutely dependent on the outcome. Now is the moment to grow the list so that if it comes a day when you are dependent on it, you will have enough income to carry you through. You understand? Having a lot of luxury, it's an absolute 100% necessity. You have to have it and start now. And who will help you? George Kosh. He's there every day helping you. Do you realize that? Do you realize how lucky you are? That you have a man of integrity, vision, intellect, and the procedural expertise that it takes to run a demanding company like ours. And I want to take this moment to thank Sandy Hunter. Do you know what a treasure she is? She keeps us all organized, which is going to be necessary if the Greek government falls again, or worse. The situation in Europe is dire. Europe afflicts us. We got into 2 world wars because of Europe. We know the power of that pull of that long-term relationship. I want to speak to the people, Sanjay, Mohammed, nearly 100 people looking in the window. Don't bet the ranch against what I've said to you. Let us assume, for example, that the worst does not occur, and that we emerge with an extra multiple income sources. Good! You'd be ahead of the game, wouldn't you? No way you can lose if you build your income. Let's say that the bad times do come, and they're worse than even I suspect that they might be. If you have an extra income source, you're going to survive. So whether there is crisis or whether there is not, the extra income will be highly valuable for each of you. Do you agree? Do you agree? These are the times. The time to act is now when it's not raining. Because when it starts raining, you're going to have other thoughts on your mind. You're building lists. Build the list now. Build the business now. Build your multiple income sources now. And pay some cursory attention to what's happening in the world, like following the economic news. It pains me more than I could tell you when some knucklehead comes in here and says, what are you studying economics for? What are you studying international relations for? This is about business. Business is international relations. And international relations is business. A crystal ball approach I use on so many occasions is clear on this issue. First, We must support Angela Merkel because she's the keystone to the whole proposition. If her government falls, we are all in this soup, and I mean that quite literally. She knows how to deal with Putin. She knows how to deal with, well, I hope she knows how to deal with Mr. Alexis Tsipras, age 40. We shall see about that. But she's been the one holding the fort for all of us. I think we must express our gratitude to her and to the government as a result. Sanjay, I'm going to talk to you, and I'm going to talk to you like a brother and a friend. First, do you have $100? Brent, do you have $100? HSSARA, do you have $100? And Sanjay, do you have $100? Tell me, because your future is at issue. Take the time now to build your list, now to build your business, now to build multiple income sources now. Do that, and you are going to be able to survive in reasonable comfort if the crisis in the European Union strengthens. I'd like to bring up for a moment our Belgian correspondent, Johan Wildeksekker. Johan, if you can come up for a moment. I'd like to hear from your own mouth, from a Belgian's mouth, right smack dab in the middle of the European Union, what the reportage is in Belgium and Europe in general on this issue. It'll be up in a moment. We are fortunate to have representatives all over the world who keep me informed and report news of local papers and information sources in their respective countries. No other business opportunity company does that. You see, the difference here is to help you make a few bucks. We're helping you to get through the rest of your life. And we want you to get through it in high style with economics, prosperity, and to spare at your fingertips. And this is no joke. This is the most important thing of all. I will be focusing on these things over the course of the next weeks and months, and I will advise you from time to time. But I'm telling you now, for those of you who control private business casually, I would change my point of view if I were you, and I'd change it radically to turn it into an income source, not just a hobby. A hobby will not get you to crisis in a regular income source, or many income sources will. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is a time for preparation, liberation, careful concern. Could hardly be more serious. Could hardly be more serious. And yet, I fear that it will become more serious. If countries around the globe who are owing to the EU Economic Union or to Germany stop payment, how will it be before the whole bang collapses? Johan, I'm calling upon you. I appreciate you coming up with no notice. You're right smack in the middle geographically of the whole ball of wax. What would you like to tell the people about what's happening in Europe and with the advent of the new Greek government? For the first time, an anti-austerity party has taken control of the government, the Greek government of all, the worst offenders. The Greeks have 25% unemployment. They are very angry. They're hurting. They've taken an audacious step that could impact on all of us. Your comments on that?
Yes, well, of course, Greece is not the only problem in Europe. We also got, Italy, Spain, Portugal. But right now, Greece is, of course, our main problem. And like you said before, I really do hope that, actually in Greece right now you've got two extremist parties, and I really hope that that 40-year-old prime minister, that he's not gonna screw it up totally.
Well, let's put it to you this way, Johan. As you know, his policy was don't bother to pay. It was kind of the mad nagging economic position. What, me worry? Pay our debts? You must be kidding. Let's ask them for a moratorium payment. They're not going to get it. It's going to trigger worse. The euro already is suffering substantially. Already, the 25% unemployment, as I mentioned in Greece, will go up. Who's going to pay the freight on this? But we're all going to hate it.
Yeah, I mean...
So what I'm advocating is this. Treat your world-profit business with seriousness and tell the people that you're talking to all over this world, like Brent, tell them that this is not a joke. Our economic futures are at stake. I'm taking adequate steps to protect mine. I'm sure that Johan is doing the same thing. But we're au fait with the kinds of these particulars. How many of you have been building your world-profit business casually? If you want to do casually now, when it comes time and you need that money, you will not like the results. Plan for the worst. Hope for the plan for the worst. So I'm talking because I don't think these people grasp the fact that you're right smack dab in the middle of the economic union. You hear about it every day. I follow this very carefully. I'm very concerned about the situation. And when I see people who come in and say to us, I don't have $100, I can't do it, I think to myself, what are you going to do if the dam bursts and you say you didn't have $100 and you wasted all that time? You wasted time, you wasted energy, you wasted imagination, and you've got nothing to show for it. How are you going to get through those difficult times?
Let's put it simply. It's not that worrisome, okay? But let's assume that I would like to have a very cheap life and a very cheap house and everything. I could even have a villa. I would just go to Greece and buy myself I could live with $100 for one week, but that's not the right mindset. I mean, yeah, how should I put it?
You should say, my friends and colleagues, build your world-profit business so you have some income coming in should the economic situation worsen. That's what you should say.
Yeah, exactly. Invest in your future, exactly, Gary.
Now let's ask some questions. How many of you have been aware of the fact that we're on an abyss here, that the Greek government is about to push us all off? How many of you are aware that there is a crisis brewing, or may be already brewed? How many of you are aware? Let's put a Y in the chat. I want to know how many offices, how many of you got stuck in the sand. How many of you understand that your economic stability is in your own hands? You're not going to wait, I trust, for the government to take action. You see what that's going to produce? Nothing. We have the ability here, thanks to George Bush's technology and our tilt to the east, to ensure incomes with a lot of you, if and only if you follow the directions. If you don't follow the directions, the Greek situation festers and triggers more, and Johan is so right when he names the next culprit. Italy, Spain, Portugal. These are the next culprits. Today we focus on Greece because the Greeks always have a way of shoving these crises in our faces. That doesn't mean that what's happening in Italy, in Spain, and we never hear about Hungary, but they've got a fascist party brewing there. The point of the matter is that these are highly unbalanced times. I want you all to do well. I want you to not to survive, but to flourish. And to flourish, you need to understand how that works. Worldprofit is the means at hand for all of us, already in place, already universal, already functioning, already successful, already with the results-oriented model in place. Don't blow it! One of these days, if some of you come to me and say, I should have listened to you, then I'm going to spit in your face. I'm going to say, listen to me then, listen to me now. We carried so many through in 2008. I know we can do it again. We're more sophisticated than we were then, and that's a big plus. More SIM members, and that's a big plus. More monitors on hand, and that's a plus. More of you, and that's more people that must be a big plus, and so on and so forth. We come into this with many assets. But the one asset we do not have is control of the time. And we'll have to live with what the bigger players dish out. We can do that if we're prepared. Go ahead,
I can see Worldprofit growing every day. It keeps growing, and people keep coming in. And right now, people are coming in from all parts of the world, really. Normally, it used to be people from the United States, from Canada, from the UK, but now people are really flowing in from all parts of the world. So, folks, now it's for you to secure your future, okay? Before someone gets ahead of you.
And again, how are we going to make that work? For one thing, I want you to know that I'm not going to tolerate people who come in here and hang out all day and don't answer our questions and don't behave in a business-like way. I don't have time, if I'm building an ark, to include animals who keep playing around. You understand me? And for those of you who like to keep people here who insult us and waste our time, you're going to see me, you're going to have to listen to me. I'm not going to tolerate people coming in here and so on who are not this like condition. We don't have the time. We don't have the luxury of catering to necklace. And that's a fact. Give them the boot. I'm willing. First, we give them our hand. First, we give them our friendship. First, we give them our colleagueship, our professionalism, our courtesy. We give them all that at the beginning. If they cannot accept that, well, we cannot help them. We have no worry about that. Not our fault. Some people are sensitive.
I'm just giving an example. Just 10 minutes ago, I called two people who put in their phone numbers, and they asked to call me. And what did they ask? Whether I could pay for the membership. I said, no, that's not how this works. That's not doing business. I mean,
I urge you all to think of this. Think of this. I want you to think of us as an ark. I want you to think of it. We're going to put as many people in there as possible. Everybody has to help. When I ask you to be a monitor, don't turn me down. We have a full complement of monitors, so we don't need a lot of extras. But I'm preparing for a rainy day. And the time to prepare for the rainy day is on a day when the sun is shining, as it is most particularly shining today. You understand me? When I ask, or whatever is necessary at the time, don't begrudge it, do it. These are small things in the total picture. We are going to do exceptionally well. If, and only if, we all follow George's advice, the steps, totally results-oriented, and we don't get sucked into the crazy problems of the craziest of some of these people from these different countries. Don't let it rattle you. Don't let it worry you. Just boot them. We're not here to salvage the unsalvageable. I'm not running a triage unit. I'm running a business.
By the way, I do want to add that, well, I'm really glad to see that so many that so many other monitors joined the program. And that's probably my call to leave. Okay, Dr. Lant, it's been my pleasure. I have to go now. Very sorry.
Go on.
Okay, there.
You're in Somerville, you can come up on. Now, what I'm looking for is an enhanced commitment. Do more, a little better. We have as my current goal, a totally achievable goal of 1 sale per hour. That it is not high, it's not low, it's not unaffordable. It is the goal of this administration. We aim to help put one more person in the ark every hour. And yes, it's an ark. Whether the person is in Yemen, where the government fell this week, and we have Al-Qaeda going in there. The government of Oman also fell. What is going on here? Acute instability as the world situation changes, and I aim to bring you people through prosperous, good-looking, happy, and contented. And if you don't think that's not a big job for anybody, you're crazy. It's a demand ask. Now I ask you to do this too. It's a personal favor to me. Some of you are going to disagree with these policies. And that's fair enough. I am not a dictator. I am a Democratic Republican. And I mean small d Democrat, not small r Republican. I mean I support the institutions, not parties, but methods and means. If you disagree with something that I have to say or don't even say, send me a note, a whisper, send me an email, send me a letter. Put your blimp over my house with a message. But don't quibble with me on the screen. For better or for worse, during the forthcoming crisis, no matter how shallow or tenacious it becomes, I'm the leader with my colleagues George and Senator. You can be assured that George will expend his uttermost talent in supporting and creating software for you. You all know that. And you know how hard Sandy Hunter works. She hides behind, she's a little shy. Well, I say this, Sandy, come and show yourself and let the people love you as I love you. And as for me, well, you know what you did. I wear my heart on my sleeve. And Sharon, I want you to help me. I want everything in this room to promote more, follow the steps more, and people as they come in from all over the world. Well, this is not some fly-by-night where we've invested over 20 years of our lives in this project, and now is where the payoff comes. If we can save people from the fallout, from the collapse of the Greek government, and the expected collapse of the Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese governments, and the chaos that right across Europe that would engender, the collapse of the euro, and even the possible diminution of the European Union, I'm going to do it. And I need help. And I'm not afraid to say so. Let's focus on the big picture. Sharon, your comments. No sound. Not yet. I want to thank Johan for coming up, but no notice whatsoever. Johan's one of our finest people. He's so dedicated to what we're doing, Worldprofit. He understands the situation of New York and the European Union point of view, and he's always ready to help. He's a very empathetic fellow indeed. Now, do we have sound or no sound? No sound. Lant, Sumner, will you come up for a moment, or you're probably not able to do that? Sharon has no sound. Armstrong. Oh, now she does. All right, got sounds. Now we're going to.
Well, that's weird. I didn't do anything to change. Must be a glitch. Okay, so can you hear me now?
We hear you now.
All right. So to all of the guests here with us today, this is live, and we are a live business. And whether you're looking to promote a business currently in, or choose to promote Worldprofit, you have to promote every day. You have to build a list. You have to have people to promote to. And that's what we can teach you to do here. All the tools and resources you build a successful business and to grow a current business. So if you would like to set your goal for 2015 and make additional money online, you need to fill out the form in front of you. Come on in and become a free associate, and we can get you on your way.
What we're going to do here, for those people in the room and those outside and those who will tune us into YouTube in the days and months ahead, I want Sharon to read the offer, and I want to start with our Universal Outreach Declaration. I want Sharon to read that. I'm going to put it on the screen here. They would offer you to read this special outreach declaration. This is our credo. This is what we believe. These are the people we are here to help. I don't care where you are in this world. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care what your sexual orientation is. I don't know how to vote. I'm here to take our resources and help you out. Make our lives easier. Don't come in here and waste our time. Don't fill us with a lot of baloney. Don't lie to us. Don't make up your names. Come in. After all, it's your skin we're trying to save. Sharon, read the declaration, please.
A special outreach to all internet marketers from Asia, Far and Middle East countries. Also for all internet marketers from former Soviet bloc nations, South America and China, Worldprofit gives you a very special welcome. We want to profit on the internet. You can help. To begin, you do require $99.95 in USD funds. If you do not have it, please advise the monitor at once. Maybe able to. After arranging the necessary, watch the video 7 minutes and watch it carefully, please. Let the monitor on duty know when you have finished. Please follow these directions as our traffic is heavy and we will rely on your cooperation and good manners to remove you from the room without them. Having trouble with the video? Then click on the video, press the pause button for 1 minute, let the video load completely, and then press the play button. You can view the video here using this link here below. Welcome, Ligia. So that is a special outreach message for you as well.
Ligia, we want to welcome you from Croatia. Sharon, I want you to read the offer to Ligia and to everyone. Ligia, we want you to watch the video first, but I want the offer out there so that all our friends looking in and the ones who will pick us up on YouTube understand what we are giving you. And remember this, if the Greek government falls, the euro continues its downward trend, if the governments of Italy, Spain, and Portugal fall, and if the EU is ravaged, who's going to look after you? If you do have not invested $100 now, how will you live? How will you live if the economic situation in your country collapses, as it has already done, essentially in Greece? 25% unemployment. Crashing the euro down to its lowest level in 11 years. These are not just little portents. These are highly alarming pieces of news. Here read us the offer so that the folks at home can understand how much they get or how little they must invest and for what significant payoff. Remember, we're trying to save your skin.
All right. Okay, our watch video link goes over our silver membership presentation. It has the $1,500 bonus offer as well as our new lifetime extreme package of 12 lifetime exchange lists where you can promote to people every day. That's thousands of people, folks. Plus, you get to e-blast any website offer to 90,000 of our subscribers each and every month. You get over 500 landing pages and over 1,500 real traffic sources. Also, our monitors will start closing sales for you today without ever charging anything. And finally, your commission earnings are 20 to 100%. In addition, we do have a spectacular money machine for you now. You can have your very own Amazon store with own over 3,000 products. The site is worth $397, and you will be one of the very first in the world with this incredible feature. Moreover, we will train you in detail how to squeeze the most money out from this store. This comes with our highest recommendation, and quite frankly, you'd be crazy not to grab it. Click the bright red box Order Now button, and your Amazon store is included with your silver package. But there's more. You get 50 associate members placed under you immediately. When these members upgrade or purchase a product, you get the commission. You have 500 landing pages, 1,500 real traffic sources, sales closing for you 24 hours a day, over 100 training classes. Our boot training will get you making money online by following the first 3 training videos. 1, 2, and 3 gets you promoting. Promoting is key. You have the 50 members placed under you now, and you do e-blast to 90,000 people per month. You have over 100,000 ad credits per month. Those ad credits are used in the marketplace to help also build traffic to your website. You have 3 Facebook marketing courses on how to generate thousands of leads using Facebook marketing. Excuse me. And remember, you can use these resources to generate leads and traffic for business. We are here to help you with any business. This is important. Upgrade to silver membership now, and you can be earning consistently income every day. Your package includes trusted advertising advertising sources, a comprehension online training program, plus physical assistance 4 hours a day. No other company offers you this. Worldprofit's ironclad backing is based on over 20 years of business. Upgrade to silver membership now to receive all the bonuses and all the privileges and all the exclusive freebies. So for these 343 guests that are out there looking in the window right now, to get started, all you have to do is fill out the form below, come in, watch our video, and be smart enough to invest in your future. That's Ligia, both of you.
Let's look at the graph here. India and Croatia at the same time, and Canadians and English people and Frenchmen and all the rest. We are universal. We are what is called a supranational organization. We can do this with people. And I want you to see very clearly what my thinking is. On the one hand, let us assume that things actually get better. Let us assume that little orphan Annie was right. Well, then you, if you worked hard now, will be a beneficiary. You will be better off in a better off environment. There's nothing wrong with that. But let us assume that I am right, and that there is an element of fear and anxiety which is perfectly warranted, and economic stability which will come. Then you're prepared, then you're going to weather the storm. And that's smart too. There's no way you can lose unless you do nothing, in which case you may lose everything. I want to go back and make a few final comments about the Greek government and what they're thinking. The Greek government has demanded of Germany that they step down, that they forgive half of their $355 billion debt. Right off the bat, they want a credit of half the $355 billion. Can you imagine if every country that is borrowed from the German government and the consortium does this? The whole damn thing will collapse. Strong though Germany is, it's not as strong as it need to be to cope with that kind of level of catastrophe. The Greek government wants to raise the minimum wage. That sounds like a great thing. They can't afford it. They can't afford their bills. How are they going to pay minimum wage? Those jobs will emigrate to Bosnia, Serbia, Herzegovina, etc. There are countries that are right in that area.
The government wants to institute. Is anyone else?
Am I cutting out for anyone else?
Having problems?
Can you hear me? Can you all hear me? We're looking for a why. Can you all hear me? Thank you. They hear me fine. It must be you. Now, I have set a goal of 1 sale per hour, which is not going to be too difficult to reach. How many of you feel... Okay, well, Sharon, I'm not cutting out for others, so please just hold your horses. Nothing I can do about it. How many of you feel that the goal of 1 sale of an hour is plausible? How many of you feel your skills are adequate to the task at hand and the traffic's substantial enough? Is there anyone in this room who feels it is beyond our capabilities, our corporate capabilities, to raise to 1 sale per hour? How many of you feel it is within our corporate capabilities to help 1 person per hour into the arc? And that is how I look upon it. I look upon it saving themselves. Here are the old standbys: Brian Armstrong, and Patrice, and William Buck, Sharon Somerville. This is the point of it. We will make the necessary deals, bring in the necessary people. Indeed.
That's what I like.
Thank you for this meeting. This meeting has been on my mind for some time. In the fall, the Greek government occasioned my remarks. The Greeks got us into problems in 2008. They're perfectly capable of getting us into problems now. They don't seem to understand, or maybe we don't, how close that umbilical cord is tied between these European countries and our own. We've got to save people in those countries because we need them saved for our own benefits too. I'm not talking about altruism, I'm talking about politics, I'm talking about economics, I'm talking about the necessary policies which we must have. Do you realize, dear friends, that this is the first time a person in my position and a person in your position has the opportunity to save people all over the world? Are you thrilled? I think it's a momentous occupation. I'm happy, I'm ecstatic to be in a leadership position in this fine company during a time of instability worldwide. I aim to bring as many of you through as will come with me. How many of you will come with me? And how many of you will work to save one soul per hour? That's what we can do. That would be reasonable. It's not too taxing. It's entirely plausible. But not if we goof off, don't get down to business and let these goofballs come in here and radiate their knuckleheadedness. Sharon, I've said my remarks. What I'm going to do is Patrice Porter to come up for a few remarks. Patrice has been such a help in getting the message out to the world through her sheer conscientiousness. We want to take this opportunity to thank Patrice. She's one of our best, and we love her a lot. We rely on her implicitly for the help that she provides. Here is Patrice Porter from the Boreal Forest.
Hey, good day, Dr. Lant, and very powerful message today. And as I say, I like that you keep us up to date on the goings on in current events, and from your economic point of view there, and it just brings to light again what a wonderful opportunity we have here at Worldprofit, and to be able to present it to others that are coming and looking, and everything they need right in one package. And if people want to catch the replay of this Anything Goes this program, it'll be on the YouTube channel, Patrice Porter, and also up on our Worldprofit Tube at www.worldprofittube.com. And you can check out my Home Business Central at www.20waystoprofit.com. And I also use the tools and resources here from Worldprofit to help people create abundance by gardening. And that's at www.gardeningforfoodsecurity.com. So with that, I would encourage all those members and guests looking in, take this opportunity and give yourself the chance to be able to develop a profitable international business, not reliant on any economic situations, wherever you are in the world. It's here before you now. Take the opportunity, and you'll be better off for it. With that, I'll say my adieus till this evening, around 8:30 Eastern Time. Bye for now.
I want to thank Patrice, and I'll tell you in a minute what 8:30 is this evening. I want to clue you in to a very happy development which has been occurring right before your eyes, and you may not have understood the significance to me or to the company. First, Brian Armstrong came back. We have a long-standing, collegial, and every once in a while, spirited economic debate with Brian for the course of many, many years. We've always valued him as a person, value him now, we gratefully returned. We didn't have to think twice about bringing him back as a monitor. He's one of the monitor. He asked me this week if he could MC my birthday party on February 16th. Now I know what that means. I better wear some armor and a few mittens. And I said, yes, of course. So we're going to have a fun, and Brian will be leading the hijinks. Brian, we're proud of you. We know that you've had health issues. We're glad to see that you have overcome them by coming to us. We're grateful that you will see us through the duration. I want to thank Daniel Fisher. Daniel Fisher has, of course, one of the debilitating diseases, cerebral palsy, and he has his good days and his bad days. And he's been absent for us for some time with some pressing problems in his own health issues. And I'm proud that he's come back to us. I always liked him. I always found his spirit, although you have to have a patient disposition. And if I wasn't that way, I'd let that Daniel presents a smiling face to those of us who have disabilities. I hate that word with a passion. But Daniel is our ambassador to the world. He can speak to people with any disability with certainty and conviction. And I'm proud of having him at Worldprofit. Then, as if this was not enough, we have Jeremiah Johnson come back. Jeremiah has been in and out with us over the course of many years. I don't even bother to ask him whether he's here for good, because I know that wanderlust may strike again. But while we have him, I'm glad that he's back. He always was a very good influence for this company. And this company, I might say, is a very good influence on you, Jeremiah, and don't you forget it. Reverend Gil Gumption came back. This is all in the last few days. It's as if a signal went for people that we have treated over the years, and they heard, they sort of hunkered down the wagons in the light of the Greek situation and what's happening in Europe. And I'm proud to have Reverend Gil come back. Never before have I lectured to clergymen so much and so well as Reverend Gil. I love him like a brother. I hope that he will stay with us too. But if these people stay with us only a short time, or as long as we have them, I am grateful for the fact that they've come to us. And I'm grateful for however long. Today, which I trust will be for the duration. Sharon, any comments before to end your remarks today?
All of the monitors, and especially the
your sound is breaking up. Didn't catch any of that. So we'll just I want to bring this program to a close today. We will be here at 8:30 this evening. Patrice Porter has been preparing this for me for time, and she's finally let that cat out of the bag. She's been taping, well, unknown to me, in the world we tape all the time. Vladimir Putin probably knows what we wrote in this country. The bottom line is 8:30. She's asked me to read tonight for the record for what's been happening. I'm now over halfway through chapter 11, the next chapter of a book which I think will change the writing of memoirs and will certainly provoke a vast interest in leadership worldwide. We're going to do a taping this evening. You're all welcome to come at 10 and listen to the way the author slash. I want to thank so many people who make this all possible. Every day for so many. And I want to say to those of you who are sitting in the rafters, the ones who sit there and look at us and take no action, you are the ultimate losers. If you like living, stay where you are, do what you're doing, enjoy what you've been enjoying. But if you want improvement amongst the finest people on earth, you have no choice. They are right here, right now, for you. And that happy note, I'll go down. We'll see you all at 8:30. If you wish to hear the reading, it's 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and right here. And every day, of course, 1 p.m. Eastern Time in this space. I shall be following these developments for you, but my message remains the same. Prepare now while the sun at least shine a considerable degree. Prepare for the worst that may come. If it doesn't, you're ahead. If it does, you're ahead. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you all. See you this evening.
All right. Can you guys hear me? Brian, can you hear me?